What's up, Intertwine? I'm here with Cody Mathis, artist extraordinaire. And just thought Cody and I could take a couple of minutes to share about some of the design work that we've been incorporating into Intertwine's life together. And Cody's really been so instrumental in making this happen. And I would just love, Cody, if you could share some of your artwork and the sketches and what goes into the process and things like that. So, yeah. Cody, you got a sketch right away to share with us, talk to us about?
Yeah. When Mike came to me about the theme, for an example, of meandering, and I've done other graphic works for Intertwine in the past, but recently, this year, like around springtime or summer, the meandering theme had came up that Mike was wanting to incorporate into Intertwine, and the themes and the subjects that that Intertwine as a group we was going to tackle and discuss about related to our lives and so forth. And usually my process, I try to make it not try to, but make it professional. So when it came to meandering, and Mike came to me with the idea. I was just coming up. I did some research on meandering, what is meandering, and that type of thing, and then it's dealing with the river, the form of the river, and usually I come up with some thumbnails, just various thumbnails that just to get my mind going, And here's some more right here. And I try to make as many thumbnails as I can, and with the time that I'm given, basically.
Yeah.
And so,
well, and Cody, I remember as you were doing that too, we were capturing this this beautiful river imagery, but also the imposition of kind of human control and the ways that a dominant society might have over controlled or have caused disruption or harm, and just seeing all these all these themes just play out in that work is so cool. You can see it in some of those thumbnails even.
Yeah, and this was one of the ideas, just a concept, something brief that I came up with dealing with white supremacy, and it's dealing with the controlled aspect that you was mentioning, and this is another simplistic sketch or design, basically about how to meander in the river is changing, and before white supremacy now, and how it can be in the future, working together as a community and as a world, and that was one of the first projects when it came to meandering, because we was dealing with my grandmother's hands, the book, and so forth. And so this is what inspired that.
Yeah.
And the conversations that we had as a group.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love how you really capture process, like the healing process, and how that works out over time. And you can really see it in the ways that your drawings come together and how they move. So it's just such exceptional work, and it's been such a gift to the community. I wonder if you can show us some of the, what do you think about showing us some of the simplicity graphics of our most recent December and Christmas time? So.
Yes, and actually, this was the final design of the candle holder.
Yeah.
And
wow.
This is the one that was decided on that we was going to go with, and this was another design right here.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And I think I have one more.
Yeah, there's so much going on here. And, I love how there's something almost like archaic, or there's something like primal about your work, something like core to our human experience and timeless about some of the imagery you pull up. So Where's that coming from? Like, what's that about?
Yeah, for me, this to be honest, like for me, I this comes from really from me doing, because I have a smaller sketchbook where I like doodle, where I used to do a lot of doodling back then, and it really came from uh a place of, I'm not gonna say desperation, well
Mm,
maybe desperation to express myself visually
mm,
at the
mm,
time, being a college dropout from graphic design
mm,
and all of that. That's
mm,
where I think that's where some of that came from. But as
mm,
far as like the look that you're talking about with the lines, the squiggly lines, and the stuff looking like not prehistoric, but like you said, archaic and
mm.
much more in a way ancient. It's
Yeah.
something that's more primal. It comes from, as far as for me right now is, it comes from curiosity. I'm a
Mm,
curious person, and I like to be simple and go into complex,
mm,
and just play around with shapes, play around with form, play around with lines, some of the basic visual art elements,
mm,
and that's it. And honestly, maybe I can't fully answer that question, but the state of mind that I'm in is more of a meditative type of
mm.
mindset for me, where it's like I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
And I'm just expressing myself,
Yeah.
and maybe there is, it possibly could be some ancestral stories from that. Maybe, I don't know, but it
Mm,
also comes from how how I like to how I'm curious of other cultures and
mm,
other languages and
mhm.
linguistics and the what you call it, alphabets and typography and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that's where some of that comes from.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, it's so amazing, and I think it just adds such depth. That visual element just adds so many layers to the work that we're doing together, and super grateful for the gift that you're bringing to this community. Also, it really to me feels like something that brings us more into our bodies. There's something very like fleshy and real about this. It's not some kind of ethereal, just kind of something that's coming out of our mind or in some other realm. There's something about it that is very fleshy and physical, and yet also points to this deeper or higher part of ourselves that we get to tap into. So I just can't say enough how grateful I am for bringing your gift to the community, and also want to invite people. This is some of the good work that we get to do. We get to facilitate these conversations and this healing work. We get to create too. Like that's part of this work is, yes, making room for one another's stories, but also creating community, creating culture, creating the space for other people to be creative. And so, Cody, I want to thank you for the ways that you have brought your creativity to help make us more creative and compassionate. And also want to invite folks in Intertwine and our supporters and friends of Intertwine, if you can, support our work, support the work that Cody's doing. Cody's a part-time staff with us and doing such great work. So if you're appreciating what Cody's putting together and the way that it's helping us create space for conversations and healing, please consider supporting us. And Cody, you got any last words?
um, I I I, I I thank you. I thank Intertwine for allowing me to express myself in this, and just letting me know that I can use my creativity for a good cause, for a good purpose, and bringing people together if I am doing it. But just the opportunity to express myself in the community. And so really, I thank you, Mike. I really appreciate this opportunity, and I'm enjoying myself. So
Awesome. It's a gift. That's what we get to do together. It's so great. Thank you, Cody. And thank you all for listening to this video and for considering supporting our work. Yeah.